Look at this director. Stare at this director. Look deeply into this director's eyes and believe in his work. Like I've had to for the whole fucking week. Anyway, hello there. Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here with the supplement disc to the BRD, Rainer Werner Fassbinder's BRD Trilogy. Jeez. Anyway, so let's mention this. There's not much to say. It's just, it's basically everything you always wanted to know about Fassbinder but never asked. Or everything you never wanted to know about Fassbinder and never asked but was forced down your throat by a bunch of white people. So anyway, here we go. So there's the first thing. There's four big things. The first thing is a half-hour, 32-minute documentary or interview with Julian Lorenz, his assistant, with Lawrence Kardish, who's a white person. And they just talk about, obviously she was one of his closest partners working the films, and so she has a lot to say about working with Fassbinder. And the other thing, and then the main thing, kind of the biggest feature on here is a '93 documentary, hour and a half long, hour and 36 minutes long, called I don't just want you to love me. Ich will nicht nur, dass ihr mich liebt. And it's about Fassbinder. And I totally forgot about the fact that Fassbinder did a lot of acting himself. I'd forgotten that he was in Ali Fears the Soul, and he plays does he play the brother of the brother or the brother-in-law or something like that, and I'd forgotten that was him. And so it starts off with a huge plethora of clips of him acting from when he was a younger boy to all to when he got established in the 70s. And it was really, really fascinating to see, I would like to see more of his acting rather than I would like to see more of other people acting for him, him being more of an actor than a director, because he seems to have a good sense of humor to him too. And that's always crucial for me. If you're going to get me, sense of humor is great. So anyway. So yeah, apparently it was done in '93, so it was well after his death, I guess almost 10 years after his death. And it touches on every aspect of his life, his youth, and basically it touches on a little bit of every film he's made. Let's see. I'm looking at the chapter. If you look there, there's the chapter titles here, and yeah, they're all very unique titles. Every chapter of the documentary is I Can't See Him Anywhere, where he which is a reference to when Fassbinder was a young boy, and I think his grandmother went out looking for him. She sent him to the store, and he came back and he was at an altar in the church, and he said something about he told me that we'd find love if we found the Lord Jesus. Well, I can't see him anywhere, or something like that. And it was interesting. And then there's other ones She Is Now, which is reference to his mother acting in some of his films. And yeah, it's just I shoot in all directions. The probably the most interesting part was that Everybody Has Their Song, where he talks about is basically dedicated to his musical supervisor, his musical scorer, and he talks about working with and how Fassbinder had different musical motifs and all that. And yeah, so those probably the most if you want to know about Fassbinder and his life, there you go, that movie. I don't just want you to love me. Of course, if you want to know about him a little more directly, the next feature will do it. 1978's Life Stories, a conversation with R.W. Fassbinder. 49 minutes. It was done for film, and it's just one long interview with Fassbinder. It says it's the longest interview he ever did. And it seems like it went on for a while, because you see a lot of different cuts and fades, so I don't know how much they talked about, but man, that would just be a trip, And he's a very, I don't know. Well, we'll talk about Fassbinder more. I'll say a little bit, but first, the only other supplement on here is interview with Xaver Schwarzenberger, who is a cinematographer, worked with him on Veronica Voss and Lola. Talks about setting up color hues. I mean, how they kind of like really exploited the color white for Veronica Voss and all the jelly bean colors for Lola. And yeah, that's about the size of that. So, and of course there's the trailers, which are, which are pretty much spoilers. You basically see the whole movie in the Marriage of Maria Braun. So there you are. And yeah. So anyway, so from all of this, I just want to summarize my feelings about Fassbinder as I've had a chance to see what he's like, a little bit more of what he's like. I don't remember how many supplements were on the disc to Ali Fears the Soul, but yeah, he seems like a relatively like a kind of a humble, or not humble, but a decent director, but he just has really weird stories. He just has really stupid stories. And it's just a shame that we have been forced with the movies that he doesn't act in, that basically are revolved around these people he loved to work with, he really wanted to work with. And it's a shame, because I feel like, the actor-director, obviously the actor, when he is also the director, he knows more about, he obviously he isn't gonna take, for the most part, I don't think he's gonna take direction from anyone else, especially if he's director. He knows what he wants to do. So for him to act in his own movie, it's just basically was like, how much better could you get from that? How much more could you get from it? So yeah, I think, yeah, Fassbinder, just these movies, or at least this, let's just try and summarize these movies. Now, watching these clips again, I don't want to go back on my word, but I actually almost want to say that Marriage of Maria Braun might be the worst, might actually be worse than Lola, for a few reasons. First of all, see, the main reason why I thought Lola was the worst was because of the plot. The plot was very confusing, and I didn't, and it took a long time to put it all together for me. So that wasn't an enjoyable watch, and also because of the ending. Although that is one thing that they touched on in I Don't Just Want You to Love Me, is that I forget who said it, but they said something about the happy ending was foreign to Fassbinder or something like that. And so that's why a lot of his movies don't have happy endings. And so, yeah, so I guess I can get behind that, But for me personally, I mean, the Marriage of Maria Braun is a happy ending, because she dies at the end. She's this horrible person that I couldn't stand looking at. But she dies. She explodes in a billion kajillion pieces, and the guts go flying everywhere, and it is all gross, and you don't see it because Fassbinder's a wimp. So, yeah, you can't show the blood in Germany because the Germans will ban it. So, yeah, so that's why I never really, I thought, well, at least she dies. At least she gets what's coming to her, So there you go. So that's why I didn't really, and of course the underwear, and that's why I couldn't give Lola an F, because I was so ready to give it an F, especially when I found out the ending, especially when she starts to fuck Schuckert or whatever his name is. So yeah, I fell off of that one, and for simplicity's sake, I'm going to keep maintaining. I'm going to maintain that's the worst. Because honestly, it just is. I just didn't really didn't enjoy it very much. I mean, like I said, at least with Marriage of Maria Braun, it had a plot, had an unlikable plot, but it had a plot that I was easy to follow, or relatively easy to follow. You still don't get much about Maria Braun's back character, or like her transition from wife to whatever, but still, it made sense. it made sense throughout a number of points during the film that it was enough to say, okay, this is a movie. It has a linear plot. We're going to go with it. I mean, the plot sucks, but there you go. So anyway, and of course Veronica Voss is Veronica Voss. Pretty decent movie. I don't remember what I think I gave it a B-. Not bad. And of course the unhappy ending there is an unhappy ending, but it's one you can get behind. It's one that tells a moral. The drugs. This is drugs and movie stars and all that. It's fame, the torture of fame and all that. It's all it all falls apart sometimes. It is a movie of coming undone, and it's a warning about it's like what could happen. I take it as a warning at least. So yeah, it's that movie did not upset me as much as Braun and Lola. So anyway, now what does this have to do with post-war Germany? Shit if I know. I mean, the only one that actually fucking talks about the war is goddamn Maria Braun. But others just kind of just are based on aspects that relate to the war, such as the fact that Veronica Voss was a star during the war, and I think a lot of the mentality of the workers, of the construction businessmen in Lola, are based around a mentality that was born out of the war. So yeah, that's me trying to be smart. So anyway, that's all I got to say about it. I'm not going to rate this because it's supplements, but yeah, anyway. Alright, so there's that. We're done for Saturday. Pornographers, hopefully, if it's still online. I checked yesterday, it's still there. So I've only got 2 more days to worry, and then I can just watch it. Aren't any supplements, which is good. So I'll just be able to talk about it and not have to worry about. I won't be able to show you the disc, but I'll be able to talk about it and just say, this is the movie. There you are. I just wasn't able to have the disc. And yeah, so that's that. Of course, next week we got a trilogy of Bergman with a documentary at the end. And then next week, and the week after that, we got. I just put a hold on the next couple. Obviously, I have Richard III, but I put a hold on The Devil and Daniel Webster, Knife in the Water, and The Rules of the Game. And the week after that, we'll do Tokyo Story, Le Cercle Rouge, La Strada, and Naked Lunch. Then after that, Ikiru, Diary of a Country Priest, Maitrice, and Pick Up on South Street. And from there, we'll figure it out. But anyway, while I'm here, now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go find another movie that has a song in it, so I can know when I have to write another parody. Oh, Eyes Without a Face. Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, Eyes Without a Face. Well, you guys know what's coming. Anyway, God, I hope I actually find. I'm actually curious now. Did they ever? Okay, so they still don't have Love Is Colder Than Death, because there's a song by a band called Erasure it's called Love Is Colder Than Death, and I thought I could do that. That's a pretty short song, or play that. But I guess that's the other. I'm curious now. Is there any other Fassbinder in the? Oh, they got Berlin Alexanderplatz. Okay, so that one, we got that one. What number is that? Does it say what number it is? Number 411. So that won't be for a while. And World on a Wire, Bitter Tears of Petra von Kant, Merchant of Four Seasons, and yeah, so Merchant of Four Seasons just recently came out too. So anyway, yeah, so there's your movies, and yeah, so that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I don't really have any morals. If you do a movie, do a good one. That's all I can say. Don't make movies with really unlikable characters unless they die at the end. Because. And yeah, so that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on Saturday for The Pornographers. And until then, goodbye.